Alright, so this is lesson 43. Today we're going to talk about synthetic division, which has to do with long division. So when you do long division, there's like a pattern that you might notice, and it's kind of like a lot of work. And remember what I said, you need to stay organized and to write any missing terms. Remember that part of the lesson the last couple days? Yes? Okay, so check this out. Like, for example, a couple days ago, let me pull up a lesson from a couple days ago. Here's one. This is like a couple days ago. Numbers 1 and 2. Okay. This was a couple days ago, or yesterday, actually. Right? Do you notice how all my m to the fourths are together? Do y'all see that? And do you notice how all my m cubes are together, and all my m squareds are all together, and all my m's are together, and all my constants are together? Do y'all see that? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. And that's kind of tedious. How many times did I write m to the fourth on this whole problem? Twice, right? But look at my m squareds. I wrote it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, right? It's a lot of times. It's kind of tedious. So someone realized that, like, why do we have to write m squareds all the time? Why don't we just look at the coefficients? So you notice that my coefficients, can't I just assume that there's a 5, a negative 7, a 0, and a negative 5 and 7 if I know they're always in order? Can't I just assume that? So we're going to use this thing called synthetic division that relies on thinking about it that way, okay? So here are the steps. If you're on the video, please pause here and write this down. Continuing on here. So I'm going to use that same idea. Instead of writing the whole thing out, we could use synthetic division sometimes, okay? So I'll just show you number 1 here. Number 2, I accidentally copied the same one, but that's okay. We'll jump to 3. Okay, ready? So on this problem, number 1, I can use synthetic division. So what I need to do is figure out what's the largest exponent that's up here. What's the largest exponent that's up here, everyone? What? The exponent. 4, right? What? And then I think, what's the coefficient in front of the x? Well, there's a 1 here, right? So I'm going to write my coefficients only in descending order. I's up here, i's up here, i's up here. Okay? So I don't need to worry about x to the fourth, x to the third, x squared, and x. So in synthetic division, I just want to worry about the coefficients. So the first largest exponent, the coefficient here is 1. So I'm going to bring down a 1. Then what's x to the third? What's the exponent there? Or I'm sorry, the coefficient there? Negative 11. The coefficient in front of x squared is 19. Coefficient in front of x to the first is negative 16. And then the coefficient or the constant is 63. Okay? That's the first thing you want to do. You see I just copied my coefficients down in descending order? Yes? Okay. Then I asked myself, I need to know what x minus a is in this problem, or the divisor. So in this case, x minus a are a divisor. We have x minus 9. So we need to know what a is. A is just the number after the minus sign. What's the number after the minus sign? 9. Okay, so a is equal to 9. Okay. So I'm going to put a 9 right here. Okay. And then I'm going to draw a line. I know you've never seen this before, so this is kind of the way we do this more quickly, okay? And this part's very easy. You add going from top to bottom, and then you multiply. So I start here at the 1, and I ask myself, 1 plus nothing is 1. Okay? 1 times 9. What's 1 times 9, everyone? So then I'm going to, 1 times 9 is 9. I'm going to put a 9 right here, because 1 times 9 is 9. Y'all see that? Then I do this again. What's negative 11 plus 9? Working my way down. Negative 2. Then I do this again. What's negative 2 times 9? Negative 18. So I'm going to put a negative 18 here. Okay? Then I ask myself, what's 19 plus negative 18? What? 1. So I'm going to put a 1 here. Then I ask myself, what's 1 times 9? 9. Good, I put a 9 here. Then I work down again. What's negative 16 plus 9? negative 7. What's negative 7 times 9, everyone? Negative 63. And then I get 63 plus negative 63 is 0. This last number would be your remainder. Since there's 0 as our remainder, that means there is no remainder, okay? Then you would write your final answer. Eyes up here. Eyes up here. This is like very procedural, so if you miss or you're not paying attention or distracted, you will not get it. And this is the easiest lesson, okay? I'll explain it one more time in case those students that weren't watching. So if this is my remainder, this next number has to be my constant. So I'll bring down my answer now. I want to rewrite it in the form of a polynomial. So this is minus 7 is my constant. Then I'm going to bring down the coefficient for the x term, which is plus 1x or just x. Okay. Then I know this next term has to be x squared, right? If it were going descending order. So it's going to be minus 2x squared. And then the last term is going to be positive 1x cubed or just x cubed. And that's it. That's how you do number 1. Okay? Way easier. Isn't this easier than yesterday? Yeah. You could only do this when you're if you look at your divisor, you can only do this when your divisor has a 1 in front of the x. You see that? What's the coefficient in front of the x? 1. You see that? If there was a 5, we couldn't do it. At least not today. At least not today. Okay? I don't want to confuse you with a harder thing, okay? So, does this make sense, everyone? Now, let me show you one more time. I'm going to explain it one more time to you, okay? So, how did I do this? I'll just erase it from the beginning. Okay, so the first thing I do is make sure it's in descending order. Then I identify, eyes up here, I identify my coefficients. We got, my coefficients are 1, negative 11, 19, negative 16, and 63. You see how they're the descending order already? I just copied the coefficients here. Y'all see that? Then I ask myself, what's a equal to? It should say x minus a in my divisor, but it says x minus 9, so that means a has to be equal to 9. I just picked the number that's after the minus sign. Okay, then I draw a long line. I have a little box in the corner with a 9. And then I work from top to bottom, starting with this first term. What's 1 plus nothing? 1. 1 times 9 is 9. Negative 11 plus 9 is negative 2. Negative 2 times 9 is negative 18. Okay? Let it play. 19 plus negative 18 is 1. 1 times 9 is 9. Negative 16 plus 9 is negative 7. Negative 7 times 9 is negative 63. 63 plus negative 63 is 0. Then I bring down my constant term. There was no remainder to bring down. Then I know the next term has to be x term. Okay. Then the next term has to be my x squared term, so it's negative 2x squared, and then we have positive x cubed. Okay. Yes, sir. The same as yesterday. That's right. Yes.
Is a always going to be positive, or?
No, sometimes it's negative.
Okay.
Okay? It's negative when we have a plus sign. Okay? We're going to see an example of that. Let's see if I can pull one up right now. Oh, good question. So, right here, this is the question that was asked. Number 3 here. I'm going to do this as your second example. Eyes up here. Okay? Again, I ask myself, what's the largest exponent that's up here? X to the 4th, right? So then I want to know, what's the coefficient in front of that? 5. The next coefficient? 7. Next one?
12.
Next?
17.
And?
7.
Good. Okay. Then I want to check my x minus a, right? What's the number after the negative sign here?
1.
Is there a negative sign here?
No.
So how could I rewrite x plus 1? Well, I could rewrite it like this. Watch. This answers your question. It'd be x minus negative 1. Isn't x minus and negative 1 the same thing as x plus 1? Yeah, so what's the number after the negative sign here? Negative 1. Negative 1. Okay, so just flip the sign here. Draw a line, and away we go. Okay, starting from 5. 5 down. 5 plus nothing is? 5. Good. What's 5 times negative 1? Negative 5. 7 plus negative 5 is? 2. 2 times negative 1 is? Good. 12 plus negative 2 is
10.
10. Good. 10 times negative 1 is
Negative 10.
negative 10. Good. 12 plus negative 10 is just 2. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. What's 7 plus negative 2? 5. This one is our remainder here. Okay, so we have a remainder. That's okay. Do not fret, my little ones. Watch. This is a positive 5, so watch. You just take plus, and then you're going to make a fraction. Put the 5 in the numerator, right? Because it was a positive 5, I put a plus. If it was a minus, I would put a minus here. And then I would just put my divisor, which is x plus 1. Okay? That was our remainder. And then I know this is my constant term, so I'm bringing down plus 2. This is my x to the first term, which is plus 10x. Then I got plus 2x squared. And then plus 5x cubed. Make sense? And that's your answer. What?
It's supposed to be 17, not 12.
Did I mess up?
Yeah.
Where?
It's 17x, not 12x.
Oh. Okay, let's just pretend it was 2. Let me just go back. Because I'm not going to redo the whole problem. Let's just pretend this was plus 12x, okay? My bad, okay? Let's just assume that. Thank you for catching that. Not 17, this was 12. Is that okay? Okay? So if this was the original problem, this is the answer. Okay? It doesn't matter. You would have still had a remainder on this one if we did a 17. Okay, so was this way easier, or was the way we learned a couple days easier? This is a lot easier, right? So, and the reason why is because we have a pattern. We could trust that everything is organized, because as math students and as math people who use math, we want to stay organized and make sure we see patterns. Okay, so what I'd like you to do before we start writing anything down, let's have Forrest start today. Wednesday, why not? Forrest are talking first today. Forrest is going to talk to the rest of the group about number 1. If you don't have a 4, let's have a 2 talk. And ready, set, go. Okay, not 4s. Let's have 1's talk now. 1's haven't talked yet, so 1's are going to talk. If there isn't a 1, let's have a 3. If there isn't a 3, let's have a 2. Okay, ready, set, go. And then write this down after you're done talking. 2 more. Here we go, number 4. Okay, number 4, I'll start us off, and then you will finish it, okay? I know you could do this. So write the whole problem down, because we do need the original problem to understand, like, the context of it. So I'll give you a moment to write down number 3. Well, actually, this is 4 now. This is 4 now. Okay, so we got n to the 5th plus 13n to the 4th plus 36n to the 3rd plus 51n squared plus 22n minus 16. So, turn your neighbor's son. What's the largest exponent and the coefficient there?
What was the answer for number 2?
Okay, so what are the coefficients here in descending order? I'll start with the first one.
N to the 5th.
No, 1. Coefficients.
13.
13, good.
46. 51. 22. Negative 16.
Good. Okay. What is our A here? 8 or negative 8? Negative 8, good. Because it's supposed to say n minus 8, but it says n plus 8, which is really like saying n minus a negative 8. Right? Good. So we're going to draw a line. Let's start this off together, and then you'll finish up. What's 1 plus nothing? 1. We're just bringing 1 down. 1 times negative 8?
Oh, negative 8.
Good. What's 13 plus negative 8?
5.
5. Good. What's 5 times negative 8?
Negative 40.
Good. What's 46 plus negative 40?
6.
Good. What's 6 times negative 8?
48.
Nope.
Negative.
Negative 48. What's 51 plus negative 48? 48.
3.
Good. Finish up my problem for me, please. 3 times negative 8 is negative 24. And then you should get negative 2. And then you should get positive 16. And do we have a remainder on this problem? No. So then your answer, here we go. You should have a minus 2 here. Then positive 3x. Then you should have positive 6x squared. And then you should have positive 5x cubed. And then you should have 1x to the fourth, which is just x to the fourth. And you box your final answer, and there you go. Yay! Good job. Ready? Let's do another one. Any questions on this one? 5 what? No, there is no power of 5.
No such thing.
Oh, I failed. What did I do totally wrong here?
I'm confused.
What did I make a mistake on?
No, but on the other one.
What did I make a mistake on? That's like the obvious. Did I use the right variable? No. Okay.
Oh my god.
Wait, you've done that on all of them though.
Yeah, you think
You've done that on the past other ones.
Did I do that too?
Yeah, see, that's 5
This
x.
one's good. No, it's
No.
X, you see. Okay, so, I'm not sure why people are confused right now. What's the confusion? Here's the correct answer. Here we go. So, you should have, this is going to be your constant term, okay? So, this is your remainder. Are there any remainders? No, so negative 2 has to be your constant, which means this has to be positive 3n, or n to the first. You see that? Then we have positive 6n squared. You see how I'm going ascending on my exponents? You see that? Next one, positive 5n to the third. I'm just copying the 5 as the coefficient. And then we got positive 1n to the fourth.
So the height variable goes away.
It does, yeah, because if you think about it, what's n to the fifth divided by n? Remember doing that? N to the fourth. But I'm not going to put 1n to the fourth. I'm just going to put n to the fourth, like that. That's it. And you box it. Is that good? Okay, cool. Let's keep going here. I heard you say you were confused. Are you confused still?
No, I got it.
Okay. Number 5. Okay, same thing. Let's write the original problem down. Okay. Turn your neighbors and tell them what is the highest exponent. Good. What's the coefficient in front of x to the fourth? 1. The next coefficient? Good. Next one? Nope, it's not 8. Are there any x squareds up there? Right? Because on x cubes we have negative 9, which we write right here, right? So any x squareds? No, so we put 0 for x squareds. You see that? Okay. Are there any x to the firsts? Yeah, what's the coefficient there?
8.
Good. Constant? Negative 69. Good. What is the a here? Positive 9. Excellent. Okay, here we go. Let's start this one off together. Okay, bring it down to 1, right? 1 plus nothing is? 1. Good. That's our first term. We'll just bring it down 1. Okay. 1 times 9? 9. Negative 9 plus 9? Good. 0 times 9? 0 plus 0? Good. 0 times 9? 0. 8 plus 0? No. 8. When you go down, you're gonna add. I go too fast?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Slowing down. Okay. Start with a 1. 1 plus nothing is 1. 1 times 9 is 9. Okay, negative 9 plus 9? 0. 0 times 9? Good. 0 plus 0? 0. 0 times 9? 0. 8 plus 0? 8. Good. What's 8 times 9?
72.
Good. So what's my remainder going to be?
3.
3. Okay, cool. Is it bad that we have a remainder? No, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now, is it a positive or negative remainder? Positive. You should have a positive sign, and then let's put a 3 in the numerator. Denominator is going to be x minus 9. Good. Okay, what's my constant term? 8. Okay, x to the first. How many x to the firsts are there? No, x to the first. Are there any x to the first here? No, because we could write 0x to the first, but what's 0 times anything? Good, so let's not include it then. Are there any x squareds here? No, we could write 0x squared, but let's not do that, okay? X cubes, are there any X cubes? What? How many X cubes are there? 1 X cubed, or we could just write X cubed. There's your answer right here. Does that make sense? Nope. It's not X to the fourth because the constants, X to the first, X to the second, X to the third. You see that? Or here's another way to look at it. X to the fourth divided by X is, what's X to the fourth divided by X? X to the third. Y'all see that? Okay, good. Let's do the last one, number 6. Okay, so I'll let you do this one on your own, and I'll come back in 3 minutes. Go. Okay, so on this one we got v to the fourth is the largest exponent. So what's the term in front, or coefficient there? There's a 1 there. So I'm going to start with 1, and then v to the thirds. Are there any v to the thirds? Yeah, 4. And then are there any v squareds? No. V to the first, there's a 2, and then there's a 13. Okay? Then, this is like, 4 plus v is like saying v plus 4. It's the same thing, so it's actually, your a is going to be negative 4. You see that? And then, we're just going to work this like we did. 1 plus nothing is 1. 1 times negative 4 is negative 4. Then we got a 0. 0 times 4 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 times negative 4 is 0. 2 plus 0 is 2. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. 13 plus negative 8 is 5, which is our remainder, right? So there isn't a there is a remainder, so we can put plus 5 over our divisor of 4 plus v. So you can write it like this, or you could even just write it correctly, well, not correctly, just descending order. I prefer descending order always. But the other way is fine. There's a constant. V to the first, there's 0 v to the first, so I'm not going to include it. 0 v squared, I'm not going to include it. Then we have positive 1 v cubed, which is just v cubed. And then that's your answer right here. Okay? That's it. Yes, sir?
Let's say before the remainder, the 2 is 0. Where our constant is 0, or
Yeah, our constant would be 0. Uh-huh. Yep. Okay? So, that concludes the lesson. I would like you to talk about these 4 questions because they do apply today. Okay? And that's it. Go.